Michelle are podcast's most interesting and loving couple. Join them every week as this radio personality and this author come together to let you into their lives.
Interesting sex facts you should know. When two people kiss, they exchange between 10 million and 1 billion bacteria. The impulse to ejaculate comes from the spinal cord. No brain is needed. The term blue balls is a real thing, and it occurs with prolonged...
Hey, yo, hold on. Superman, could he come?
I don't know.
Probably not, right?
Maybe.
Because he was fucked up. His spine was fucked up. Damn.
You're
How
talking
you
about
be
the wrong
Superman?
superhero.
Oh.
No brain is needed. The term blue balls is a real
You're talking about
thing, and it
Professor
occurs with
Xavier.
prolonged sexual
No!
arousal without
Yes,
ejaculation.
Who was the motherfucker in the wheelchair?
Professor Xavier, he was an X-Men.
Nah, yo.
Yes, he was.
No.
Superman was never crippled, you dumb.
Yes, he was.
No, when?
Who was the... Maybe it was the person who played Superman?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the guy with, his name was Chris something.
Reeves.
Yeah, him.
Christopher Reeves. He couldn't bust nuts.
I don't know what he could do.
Oh.
Real thing, and it occurs with prolonged sexual arousal without ejaculation. Orgasms can lower a woman's risk of heart disease, stroke, breast cancer, and depression. The clitoris is the only...
Ladies, this is why you shouldn't fight sex with your man. It can save your life, right?
Sex also can kill you.
Oh.
bodily organ that exists solely for sexual pleasure. According to studies, girth is more important than length, and more thrusting does not equal more fun.
Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Okay.
Nigeria is ranked the most sexually satisfied country in the world. Japan ranked last on this list. The fear of having, seeing, or thinking about an erection is called ithyphallophobia. The longer a man's ring finger is compared to his index finger, the more testosterone he has.
I've heard
the
that
left
one before.
testicle usually hangs lower than the right.
Hold on, what was that?
About an erection is called ithyphallophobia. The longer a man's ring finger is compared to his index finger, the more testosterone he has. The left testicle usually hangs lower than the right for
Yeah,
right-handed
mine does.
men. The opposite is true for lefties. Just like your eye, the vagina is a self-cleaning organ. 3% of people don't have any sexual fantasies at all.
The sexual fantasies one actually kind of blows my mind a little bit.
I mean, it's only 3% of people.
Yeah, but I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
What do you got?
For what?
What do you think about this?
I thought it was really interesting. I only wanted to use it because I love the word ithyphallophobia. And
By the way, that's going in the title of our next podcast.
I hope so. Superman had ithyphallophobia. I thought that the Nigerian one was really interesting. All those Nigerian princes on the internet, like maybe they should offer themselves like that. Like, hey,
No, you know.
I guess instead of asking for money, they can offer dick.
All I thought was like, it just confirmed the stereotype. They got big things out there, and in Japan they got small things, so that's why they're not satisfied in Japan.
You are so prejudiced.
I'm just saying, it just affirms it.
You really cracked me up because before he finished with the left testicle is bigger for right-handed people and vice versa for
Yeah.
left-handed, you jumped in so quickly, and I really want to tell you, like, bro, honey, you're not right-handed.
I know, I didn't hear that part, but I don't know, why does my left one hang lower then?
Maybe you should see a doctor.
Does your nut hang low?
Okay, I mean, my thought went to does your chain hang low? so I'm so glad we were on the same page. The germs one with kissing makes me feel really good about the fact that I'm not a big kisser.
Oh, yeah.
10,000 bacteria. Can you imagine? Like, mwah, honey, oh, thank you for all that good bacteria you gave me. You're such a troll. You're a troll. What are we talking about today?
All right, look, there's a lot happening. Listen, we're going to give me a kiss after this break?
No.
Okay. Hey!
Honey.
Hey!
All right. Honey, you're not too short. Sit down.
Okay.
What are we talking about today?
All right, we got a lot of fun stuff on the menu.
All right.
Oh, my goodness. We got to talk about this 62-year-old guy who accidentally shot his grandson at a wedding. That one's going to be wild. Also, a serial wedding crasher.
Oh, yeah.
This is not Vince Vaughn. We'll also have to talk about some more. What is this? Some more sex facts? What is this?
We have a woman who's going to tell us how to keep intimacy healthy with couples. So it is a little bit of sex facts, but more related to
having a healthy
having a healthy sex life in a relationship.
Also, 3 deal breakers guys should have. We'll talk about that.
And then we're going to go to a throwback true crime story about Chris Watts.
Oh my God, that's the guy who put his kids in the oil tanks, right? In the oil cans? Yeah.
And then
that was in Colorado, good old Colorado.
I know, there's some crazies out there. And we have a really interesting story about a father and his daughter and what they did with 3 babies.
3 babies?
Yep.
All right, we'll have to get to that. Miami Springs, is that like by Miami or is it on some other side of Florida that we don't know? Don't you love when places are like that?
Yeah.
But in a recent incident in Miami Springs, Florida, a 64-year-old man named Eliezer Ravello has been charged with felony battery after an altercation at a McDonald's drive-thru. Surveillance footage from August 25th shows Ravello arguing with the restaurant's manager, Stephanie Restuccia, over a perceived overcharge on his breakfast order. As Restuccia attempts to hand Ravello his coffee, he aggressively slaps it back at her, causing minor burns on her right arm and chest. Ravello then sped away from the scene. She claims it was probably about 100 miles an hour he fled out of there. Stephanie Restuccia, who has been a manager at the McDonald's for 4 years, described the incident as humiliating. She overheard Ravello complaining about being overcharged and was met with offensive language and name-calling before the coffee was thrown at her. Surprisingly, the dispute appeared to be over just a penny. According to McDonald's shift manager Naab Garcia, Eliezer Ravello was arrested and later released on $5,000 bond. That's it. I guess he just threw coffee, right?
I mean, yeah. The thing is, did he throw it or did he
slapped it back? It sounds like he punted it.
Like it's not like he took the lid off and just, here, take your coffee, bitch. Like, it just chugged it at her. I mean, it's still, the McDonald's coffee is pretty hot, though.
It does come out of those hot carafes.
Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
He has been ordered to stay away from both Stephanie Restuccia and the McDonald's where the altercation occurred. Is it as long as she's there? Because if she gets fired, he can come back, right?
Well, why would she get fired?
No, I'm just saying, in general, either she gets fired or she leaves her job.
I mean, maybe.
I just went for the negative one.
No, I'm sorry. I should be used to that from you.
Wow.
Oh, my bad.
Ravello is scheduled for arraignment on November 1st, by the way.
Man, can you imagine being this man's wife? And having to explain to your wife why she's picking you up from jail over a McDonald's coffee? Or like your employer.
It was over a penny.
Over a penny, I know, but
even worse.
It is even worse. Or like, can you explain it to your employer?
Oh my God, you show up in the news? You got to call out?
Oh, can you imagine? Leave it on the voicemail. This is a collect call from the Miami Springs Correctional Facility. Do you accept the charges? And you're calling your boss to tell him that you
can't come into work because you threw coffee back over a penny.
So which one's better? A few months ago, we did a story about the guy who got caught speeding, trying to take his girlfriend to the Taco Bell job interview.
I think that guy's better.
You think
that guy's smarter?
But he was endangering the children.
I understand, but
okay.
But clearly the mom needed money.
Yeah. That's fair.
So he's trying to make sure that she secures the bag, the Taco Bell bag, the brown paper bag of some $7.50 an hour.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's fair.
This guy just was upset over a penny, and he was by himself.
The fact that he sped away, you did wrong. I wonder, did he take his food and leave, or did he just leave everything and run?
And what dumb motherfucker these days doesn't know that there's cameras everywhere? Like, even if it wasn't a surveillance camera.
Hold on. Because even if there was zero surveillance cameras, Who doesn't pay with a credit card?
Yeah, because that's premeditated. And if you pay with cash, it's premeditated.
You think so?
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Think about it. You can't trace cash.
That's fair.
So I wonder if he paid with cash.
Nah.
You think he swiped some plastic?
I think he swiped some plastic. Also, I feel like something's gonna come out later, and it's gonna be like a news update about how this is the first McDonald's employee he ever accosted.
That's true. Yeah, this is a pattern, probably, right?
Yeah.
Over a penny.
He seems like the type.
What we need to do is just find a bunch of compilation, like put a compilation together of surveillance footage from him at other stores. What if he gets like shorted a penny at like the dollar store? Does he throw a toy or candy at the aisle?
I know. I feel like this is a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, don't ever short this guy a penny. He'll throw shit at you.
I wonder what he's gonna do if he doesn't meet his bail. Like, can you imagine fighting with the bail bondsman? Over his little 10% 500. I gave you $501. I was like, to give you 500. Like,
give me my one back.
And he ends up right back in the same position. Can you imagine the judge, sir? We just talked about this, sir.
That's good stuff.
This story is wild. It's about a father and daughter who had an incestual relationship. And let's listen to what happens next.
Horrifying discovery led to a father and daughter facing life in prison for murder. 3 newborn babies were found wrapped in plastic bags inside shallow graves rotting in the basement of their home in Poland. Along with the multiple charges of murder, 54-year-old father Piotr Jerasik and his 20-year-old daughter were charged with having incestuous relations with each other. Prosecutors say 2 of the murdered children came from his consensual relationship with his 20-year-old daughter, but the 3rd baby was from a relationship with his other daughter after forcing her into sex. Police are continuing to search the property to see if any more bodies are hidden in the house.
Wow!
Yeah,
Whoa!
I know. It's crazy, right? The whole situation is really wild, but then the fact that he already had one daughter he was fucking and then forced another daughter to unwillingly fuck him is wild to me.
That is craziness.
I found this because I was looking for like crazy nightmare stories.
Yeah, it's spooky season.
It is spooky season, and someone mentioned to me recently that one of our very first October's podcasting, we did a lot of spooky things for the whole month of October. So we're going to give you a little creepy in this episode.
Yeah, so they were having babies, killing the babies to try to hide that they were having incestuous sex?
You know, I would love to actually know. I wish this Daily Mail story gave us more.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find this story real quick.
I would love to know how they even found out in the first place.
That was going to be my next question. How did they find out that this was actually happening? Father, daughter, kill babies.
Poland. Put Poland in there.
Poland. What are they doing out there in Poland?
Apparently sharing their sausage.
A woman who escaped a house of horrors where her father is accused of murdering 3 babies from an incestuous relationship with one daughter and the rape of another says that he is a monster, not a man. Also, a woman reported him. Kasia Giersik, who has Down syndrome, oh my God, fled the house in the village of Cherniki 2.5 years ago after suffering years of abuse. Last week, her father, Piotr Giersik, 54, and her 20-year-old sister, Paulina, were charged with incest and murder after police found the dead babies in the basement. Prosecutors say that 2 of the newborns were from the father's incestuous relationship with Paulina, and the 3rd was from an older sister who he is accused of raping. Now speaking from a shelter run by a local priest, Kasia Giersik told Poland's TVN Uwaka program I am worried about my sisters because they were sleeping with our father. She went on TV and said this.
Oh my God. This is wild. So the daughter who escaped had Down syndrome.
And told on the dad and the sisters.
He kept her captive in the house. There's got to be some underlying mental illness. Where's the mom?
Facts!
Did she die or something? What is happening over there in Poland?
He used to beat me. I'm glad it's over. I never want to see him again. If I did, I would simply say, what have you done? Nothing else. He is a monster, not a man.
Wow.
Arriving in the small village of less than 200 people 25 years ago, jobless, Peard began claiming benefits for 2 of his disabled children at the same time. Well, that's why he has disabled children.
Oh, my God.
He's probably having more kids with the family members.
Oh, my God.
Wow. At the same time, he is said to have raped the oldest daughter before he began sleeping with his youngest daughter, Paulina. Meanwhile, he physically abused Kasia and her mentally disabled brother, Damien, delivering
all of his kids were disabled?
Wow, something is up there.
Oh my
that is
God.
bad seed. Oh. Should we go to music?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing? All right. I have followed this story time and time again, and it seems to come up every couple of years for me since it happened. 2018, the murders of Shannon Watts and her. She was pregnant at the time.
Yeah.
So our baby, of course, and then the 2 girls that they already shared. This guy, this crazy animal, killed his family. And there's a reason why we're bringing up this story this time. But first, let's revisit the story when he was officially charged with premeditated murder, okay?
All right.
Chris Watts handcuffed and head down in court on Tuesday as he was charged with the premeditated murders of his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their 2 little girls, Bella and Celeste. Shanann's brother watched in anger as her father broke down and sobbed. Police say the morning of the murders, Watts claims he told his wife he wanted to split up, causing an emotional conversation. Minutes later, on a baby monitor, he claims he saw his wife actively strangling Celeste, their 3-year-old, as 4-year-old Bella was sprawled out on her bed and blue. Watts says he went into a rage and ultimately strangled Shanann to death.
I need everybody back here. I need everybody safe.
But just days earlier, he told reporters a very different story.
I saw her when she got in, but it was really quick.
Police say Watts later admitted he dumped their bodies at this oil field. The DA, who's not buying his story, has not alleged a motive. But in the arrest affidavit, investigators say Watts was having an affair with a coworker. In a filing last week, Watts' defense team asked that the coroner do DNA swabs on the children's necks, raising questions whether they may be looking for evidence of the mother's DNA there.
You'd peg them as like one of the perfect families.
The Lindstroms saw Watts and his girls at a party just hours before the murders and say everything seemed normal.
At one point, Cece had fallen on the swing set, and he ran over and got her and comforted her, and just like a normal dad would. And they were just here, and they were just playing, and they didn't know, and they didn't.
The news will interview anybody.
I'm telling you,
Kristen
man.
Dahlgren, NBC.
You know, and the fact of the matter is here, they didn't detail if this coworker was male or female.
Right. And so I was, story hunting for us on TikTok and looking for something interesting for, October. And I found out this clip from, what's it from? Inside Edition, I think.
Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, we got a bunch of things happening here.
29-year-old Trent Balti claims he met Watts on the dating app Meet Me.
This was a Hulk smash.
Yeah, but
with the flexing biceps.
Yeah, Dustin name of the account, but I'm pretty sure the clip is from Inside Edition.
Gotcha. I just wanted you to know. I was laughing.
That's very
at
funny.
the account name.
Did notorious killer Chris Watts lead a double life as a gay man?
Woo!
29-year-old.
That's why do you say it like she say it like that? Yay, man.
I don't think I heard what you
Did
heard.
notorious killer Chris Watts lead a double life as a gay man?
Oh, I heard that. That's really
Met
funny.
Watts on the dating app Meet Me.
He said he didn't know if he was bisexual or gay.
Balti first came to public attention last August when he spoke anonymously to HLN's Ashley Banfield.
Chris Watts' former lover.
Now he's decided to come forward and let his face be seen. Police took Balti's story seriously.
Because he can't kill you? Is that why?
And made public this interrogation video.
So we talked about money for sex, how you guys met, the amount of time you guys met. We talked a little bit more about Chris. So I believe you now.
One thing that was written about you is that you're a male escort. Are you a male escort?
No, I am not a male escort.
Balti says he and Watts sometimes
He has
got
the voice
hotel
of one.
rooms, which Watts paid for. He says Watts also paid for his lip injections.
Did Chris Watts pay for you to have other cosmetic procedures?
He paid for Botox in my forehead and around my eyebrows.
He shared several messages between the two of them. I miss your face, Watts wrote in this text. Balti said they did what most couples do and watch Netflix together.
I got him into Orange is the New Black.
Of course you did!
Balti says Watts admitted he had a family, but gave the impression he was separated from his wife, Shannon. Last February, Balti says he was even introduced to Watts' daughters, Bella and Cece, outside a shopping center in Loveland, Colorado.
Cece just talked up a storm. She was one of the happiest little girls I've ever seen. And Bella was very shy.
What was he like with his own kids?
He was very attentive, very loving.
Did they seem scared of him?
No, not at all.
How did they seem?
They seemed very comfortable with him. He was very proud of his daughters.
That night, Balti says he found out Watts was still living with Shannon.
He said that Shannon was verbally and emotionally abusive. I said, why don't you just file for divorce? He said, I'm just worried that she won't let me see the girls.
Balti says he is haunted by several comments Watts made about his family.
Chris told me it would be ideal if me and him could move to Oregon and take the girls.
He suggested to you that he would pick up his daughters and flee to Oregon?
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about trying to get his wife out of his life?
Yeah, Chris spoke of that a lot.
Once, he says he overheard Shannon yelling at Watts on the phone.
Chris said there's got to be some way to get this effing bee out of my life.
That takes on a whole new meaning now, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Trent says he and Watts finally broke up in early May 2018 after 10 months of dating.
Why did your relationship with Chris end?
I just started seeing through Chris's lies.
Balti says he was shocked to learn that Watts was having a relationship with a coworker, a woman named Nicole Kessinger.
Was Chris Watts seeing you at the same time that he was seeing this woman?
Their relationship was only for 2 months. So at times up, it seems like he got with her right after I ended things in May.
Wow.
3 days before Watts killed his wife and daughters, Balti says Watts sent him a long text.
Chris said that he was in love with me. He said that he'd never been so comfortable with someone.
You know what pisses me off about when people bring up a text? Why would you delete that text?
Facts.
Bring it in and show the screen.
Yeah. Facts.
Show it.
You know, so many parts of this story. I feel like this is one of those stories where parts of the story will be coming out for years.
For years.
But also the idea of, first of all, I feel like Chris and Trent's relationship ended because Trent was done getting all of the plastic surgery he needed. like you had this side piece who was paying for you. Like you were a side piece, and he was paying for your cosmetic surgery.
Yo, that's crazy.
Like I feel like that's why that ended. I also feel like if there was an affair with a female coworker, it was because it was easier than keeping up an affair with someone that you actually had to make the time to see.
Yep.
But like, can you imagine? You hear so many stories of people having affairs and like killing their spouses, and then at the same time, you're introducing the kids to these people. Like, what do you say to your kids? Like, this is my friend Trent.
Right. And you know what? More so than anything, it's interesting that both these stories that I played tonight have the stories of these people who saw the kids, and they were like, "Oh, he was a great dad," and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And it's like, you just never know.
Yeah.
Everybody can put on a show.
So, this story reminds me of a book. I'm reading a book series called Serenity's Plain series, and I feel like the author's name is Carrie Ann Hopkins.
Yeah.
And in this last installment of the series, there was this beloved doctor in the town who was married to a lawyer. And the lawyer wife and the son were found murdered in the home. And everybody assumed that the doctor did it. And it turned out that the doctor didn't do it. But in the process of like figuring everything out, you find out that the doctor was having a whole bunch of affairs. And that the wife even was having a whole bunch of affairs.
Oh my God!
And that they were really unhappily married. And that at the end of the day, the reason that the murder happened was because the doctor started having sex with this teenage girl and got her pregnant. And when the wife found out that the girl was pregnant, she hired someone to take her to get an illegal abortion. And it caused the girl to go into a psychotic break. And so she killed the son.
Oh.
And then as she was killing the wife, she told her, like, I just want you to know while I'm killing you that I killed your son first. And I took from you exactly what you took from me. And so, you never know also what someone's behavior can drive them to. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not victim blaming or anything. But being outsiders, there's so much of this story that we don't know.
We'll never know, too.
Yeah.
But, is it true that Shanann was abusive?
Right.
And awful. Like, how much of that is true? What was he telling Nicole, his coworker?
Right.
Was he telling her that his wife was a bitch and he wanted to get rid of her too? Why hasn't she come forward?
I mean, because she's probably ashamed and married.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That's true. No, you're right.
You find out that so many of these murderers who had affairs before they, killed their spouses were having affairs with married people.
Yeah.
Like, it's rare that you hear about a murderer who killed someone because they have a single girlfriend.
Sure, yeah.
And then everybody's family implodes because somebody's a psychopath.
Yeah, you're doing some dirt, too. That's true. But this guy, you know what, Trent? He broke up with you because you're a talker. You talk too much.
I can agree. I still think it's because he got all the cosmetic surgery.
Okay, we both have our theories.
Or my last theory is that the girls ended up telling Shanann that they met him. And then Chris,
and they got into a fight about it.
Yeah, and then Chris couldn't really explain it away.
Hey, what if she saw his phone after he sent this supposed long text?
Oh yeah, because it was 2 days before. It was
a couple days before, right?
Yeah. And it also baffles me that, they said at the beginning of the video, like, he brought some text messages between them. But you brought some text messages, but you didn't bring that one text.
Yeah, that one specific one.
Like the one specific. You brought all the rest of them, but you didn't bring this one.
Not the one before the murders.
Yeah.
The most important one, probably, of them all.
Whew. Look, R.I.P. Shanann, Bella, Celeste. Chris, we hope you rot in the deepest part of the jail.
Chris is awful.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I've seen so many videos on YouTube of people who are these body language experts.
Yeah.
And who literally, watch the body cam footage and analyze the whole body cam footage.
Yeah.
And just showing and hearing the words. Like, I always say I'm really good with words and I know what people mean based on the way that they structure their sentences.
Yeah, because you're a manipulator.
Oh.
Oh. Sorry.
Why does this always turn negative about me? I don't think you love me.
I don't think you love me.
Okay. All right, some tips to have so much more of an explosive time in the bedroom.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this lady has to offer.
Pro tips for having a more explosive time in the bedroom. I'm Catherine. I'm a sex and relationship coach. We're going to rapid fire these. Self-pleasure is your best friend because it teaches you what you like, how you like it, how to replicate it, and how to ask for what you want. Because when you know what you like, then it's easier to communicate it.
Do you think that... I just want to stop it right there for a second because I heard when I was getting this video earlier, I heard that one. And I wonder if this is really only valid for women.
No.
Because, like, men, there's not very much you can do for self-pleasure.
I mean, yes and no. Because for women, there's more toys, I guess.
There's more options.
But you guys have a lot of access to things, too. But also, I mean, just think about it, like, in simpler terms, right? Like, some dudes want you to, like, grip and twist.
Yeah.
Some dudes want you to, like, play with the head. Some want you to squeeze their ball. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So there are different options of, like...
Ways to pleasure.
Like, not all men are pleasured the same, just like not all women are pleasured the same.
I also really love rubbing one out before going on a date or giving a presentation because it gives you that glow. Next tip is talk about it. And more than just in the bedroom or right before. The people who have a more satisfying time in the bedroom are the people who talk about it all the time. This means when you meet a new partner, talk about your interests and desires, expectations and boundaries, safety too.
Hold on, pause it right here. This is so important. Mm-hmm. I said this to you when we first started dating. First of all, if you can't talk about sex with someone, you should not be having sex with them.
Yeah, you should not be putting your genitals together.
Yeah. Second of all, it's safety in the bedroom is so important. Making sure that you're safe, making sure that your partner's safe, making sure that you're both clean. Size, talking about how to be pleasured with size. There are women, contrary to popular belief, who don't want a man who's too large because maybe their bodies can't accommodate. Like, there are so many things that go with just talking about some medications. There are medications that lower your libido. There are things you can take to increase your libido. Like, the fact that people are not...
Don't worry, though. Fellas, I'm working on that Blue Chew sponsor for it goes down in the DM.
Shut the hell up.
You can get that Blue Chew in the mail.
Oh, my God. Press play.
Unlabeled package. Your lady don't got to know why you're putting that thing down.
Your interests and desires, expectations and boundaries, safety too. This includes dirty talk leading up to the moment. This includes feedback in the middle of it. And as aftercare, sharing what went well and what didn't. Also slowing down and being mindful in the experience. Connecting with yourself and your partner. Making it a sensual experience. Also give yourself permission to moan.
Hell yes!
Yeah.
Make some noise.
Especially men.
Be free.
Like, men always want women to be, like, the vocal partner. And then they just sit there and kind of silently grunt at you. Like, no. Don't just silently grunt. Be vocal. Tell her you like it.
Vocal.
Tell her what you want more of. Like, and vice versa. There are no-goes for me. Like, don't disrespect me during sex. Don't slap my face, call me your bitch. No. Like there are definite boundaries and limitations that people should put on sex, and those conversations should be had before you're ever in the moment. I was going to say,
and that's what we were talking about before, being able to talk about what sex looks like for you, because it is different for everybody, and also be open from the start about the things that you want to try.
Yeah,
because that's the only way that it can happen authentically.
Yeah.
I always say that, people who start trying to introduce something later that they're like, I always wanted to try this, but I didn't want to say anything until now. I think people are not ready for that. I don't think people are ready for you to just drop that on them.
They come up with a sex swing and whips and chains.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, whoa. What do I do with this?
Especially if you expect to tie them down.
Oh,
like you come in with all this shit and then you're ready to be the aggressor. Like, I ain't let you have control for too long. Taking it back. Sex parties. Go to pure romance parties, ladies. You know, check out adamandeve.com with your man.
Go to swingers clubs.
All right, you're getting carried away.
Sorry.
It's time to go
Sex
to
swing
music.
clubs.
Go to music, Danny. You're out of control. This turned really left really fast.
This 13-year-old was murdered by accident when he tried to defend his mother from her boyfriend. In the early morning of March 24th, 39-year-old Houston Morris and his girlfriend, whose name has not been released, were arguing until things got physical. During the fight, Houston strangled her, hit her with a metal pipe and a bed frame. In an attempt to defend herself, she grabbed a knife from under the bed, but he managed to take it away from her. Houston then tried to stab her with a knife, but he missed, and instead he hit her 13-year-old son, Isaac Hoff, who was standing right behind her. Isaac at this point is bleeding out, so he calls police and he tells them that his mother is being attacked. When officers arrived, they found him lying on a pool of blood in the kitchen floor, and he later passed away in the hospital. Isaac's mother was found with multiple cuts, bruises, and bite marks, and her 1-year-old daughter was also found with blood all over her. Houston pleaded guilty to second-degree murder, and he's now being held at the Renville County Jail.
You know, when can we say that you are responsible for recognizing, you should be more responsible for recognizing red flags if you have kids?
You know, I feel like it's okay to start saying now. Especially, like, really, we could have started, like, 4 years ago. But, like, especially now with all of these TikToks and all of these podcasters and all of these people who are committed to shining a light on red flags and negative behavior patterns and narcissists and toxicity in relationships. Like, there's so much available that I feel like people who choose to ignore it are the problem. Like, not to say that she necessarily chose to ignore it, but, like, you have 2 children. Like, I get it. I get fear or whatever, like all these things that, you know, people say that keep them in these unhealthy relationships. But my fear doesn't override the love for my child.
And the safety of my child.
Yeah.
Like the fact is, my kids and your kids are supposed to defend you.
Well, and
if they see something, not I mean they're supposed to. You know what I mean, though. Like, they're going to. It's instinctual.
Yeah. Kids are gonna go jump in. Obviously, it wasn't the first time that the kid probably tried to jump in and save her. But, like, no, you should be jumping in front of your child. You should never put your child in a position where they have to protect you as the parent. That's not their job. It's like when we grow up and they say, like, oh, you should take care of your mom and dad. No, not if your mom and dad treating you like shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't owe anybody anything.
You don't owe anyone anything who doesn't treat you well. And this story is so heartbreaking for me. Is it October Domestic Violence Awareness Month?
I believe so. Let me look real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it is October. Yep.
I knew it. And that's part of the reason I wanted to share this particular one on the show. What's the number? I know isn't there numbers or something that we can give them for people who are in domestic abuse situations that they can call for help? Let's give our listeners. It's rare that we talk about, you know, domestic abuse situations, but it's such a real in October. It's definitely something that I wanted to shine a light on because it's not safe out here, and as much access as people have to information, they have the same amount of access to misinformation.
If you can, always stay informed by looking up information yourself. Never go with hearsay.
Yeah.
Google is available for you, and it's free. The phone number, if you would like to get some help, is 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799 safe. If you're in a situation, use that number. They are there to listen to you 24/7, 365, okay?
Honey, look, while you're finishing up, let me ask you, how would you have felt if somebody tried to crash our wedding?
Oh, I was expecting for it to happen.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, because my mom kept telling me to watch my baby mama.
Oh, yeah, because she made a point of letting me know how
that you shouldn't have a baby with me.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, tracked me down, sent me a message request and everything.
Yeah, so it's looking like a woman who was reported on a couple years ago for doing this, right? It's now back in the news. I think she was reported on in 2021 for doing this. Well, they caught her because she was also stealing the wedding gifts this time.
That's clever.
An accused wedding crasher strikes again. We told you about Sandra Henson back in 2021 when Marshall County Police caught her on surveillance video stealing gifts and envelopes from a stranger's wedding. And then tonight, police say she is at it again. WRG's Ashley Paul joins us now live in studio with details on the latest arrest. Ashley?
Greg, not only is this woman accused of crashing weddings, but she's accused of cashing in on them. The latest happening in Pontotoc County.
Woo! What a
least
name.
4 years, 3 states, and countless weddings.
That's Mississippi for you, by the way.
Is facing charges once again.
We was able to identify this woman and actually watched her remove the property from the gift tables, which is very sad. I mean, that's real sad,
This interview was back in 2021.
Hold on, pause.
So insightful.
It's very sad. I mean, that's real sad. Thanks, sir.
You really had a lot to say.
Yeah.
That's real sad,
This interview was back in 2021. Major Kelly McMillan with the Marshall County Sheriff's Office explained Henson was caught on video stealing envelopes and gifts during a wedding she was not invited to. We reported then this wasn't the first time Henson faced these accusations, with similar cases in Alabama and Tennessee. Tonight, we learned this also wasn't her last.
It seems to be an ongoing thing, maybe an addiction or something that...
Hold on, though.
She just feels like...
Tell me, there's a lot of cash in those envelopes sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're going to steal from someplace, this is actually kind of smart.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
God's still working on him, guys.
Nobody will ever catch on to.
Pontotoc County deputies took to Facebook announcing Henson has been arrested once again. According to the Post, Henson was wanted in Alabama when she was arrested at another wedding in Pontotoc County. A groom who was a victim years ago says he can't believe this is still happening.
We're angry that she's still doing it. It's very disappointing that she's still doing such a heinous thing. This is supposed to be one of our happiest days, and she's taking advantage of it.
Thankfully, though, the victims say while Henson may have stolen their gifts...
I'm just trying to know how she knew where the weddings were at.
Hold on, and I'll tell you.
Okay.
She can't steal their joy or their happiness. Now, Henson is facing charges including larceny, trespassing, and disturbing the peace. Greg, Steph?
Did she mean larceny?
Yeah, she did.
Okay. I was like, there's a new word out there?
Yeah, she definitely did.
Larceny. Okay.
I mean, she is from Pontotoc County, Mississippi, so they're really low on them. But think about it. Wedding announcements are typically in the paper. Especially like big weddings. People typically pay to print their wedding announcements.
I want...
So...
You gotta have bouncers at your fucking wedding now.
I always thought I would have to have bouncers at my wedding.
Why?
Because I don't like a lot of people. And I always would say, like, don't show up to my wedding acting like, you really have supported me all this time and really you're just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But this is so sad. My mom, when she got married, someone stole $250 from her on her wedding day. Woo! That was part of their wedding gift.
Yikes.
And so...
That's a lot, too.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a real... can you imagine? This is the happiest day. You're supposed to be happy and celebrating. And you turn up and, all of your stuff is gone.
You know, I mean, I couldn't imagine. You know, I couldn't imagine. I really think they need to make those. They need to make, unless I'm already stupid and they already do. But like, you know, the cash boxes, the boxes that you could put money in for the groom and bride. They should make them like piggy banks.
Oh yeah, you can.
Right, where you have to actually have like a key or something to open it up.
Our wish box was something that had to be physically taken apart.
To get the cash.
So like when we got cards and things put in our wish box, somebody would have had to stand there and take it apart if they wanted to steal from us.
That's dedication, by the way.
That is dedication.
That's like when they add the plastic upon plastic at the in a package at the store. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
I just wanted to buy toothpaste.
Yeah, I just wanted to open the damn thing.
But this hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Like, especially, you know, we're still in that newlywed phase. And, you know, we're blessed that most of the physical gifts we received got shipped directly to us. But we're blind.
Yeah.
Like, had someone stolen from us on our wedding, unless someone caught them, there's no guarantee we would have ever known.
Right. And people are, and rightfully so, right? Because people are there for us, and they're there to celebrate with us.
Yeah.
And so they're not really thinking about the gifts table. They're not thinking that there's anyone in here that's going to be stealing.
Look, I hope that they find a way to track all the shit that she's stolen over the past 4 years, and someone gets her for grand larceny. Or like maybe some kind of federal offense since she's been crossing state lines to do it.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I hope she really gets punished. Whatever they do to her, it's rightfully deserved. And I don't have any sympathy.
Now, the other side of it, though, you can get some money off of that.
Yeah.
I mean, this chick, she was able to do this for 2 years.
4.
Well, I'm saying even after she was known about.
Oh, yeah. She still did it for 2 years after she knew.
Yeah, after people knew
about her.
And it's like, bank robbers get caught so easily now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the old crime in the book. But now, like this chick is stealing from weddings for 4 years. 2 years into it, she's found out about, but they never do anything. So what happened there?
I know, right?
Like, I want to know what happened. Who dropped the freaking ball?
The Bantock County. Where is
it? It's Mississippi. Goes to show.
They probably gave her a warning or something. We better not see you around these parts again.
I never need to be in Mississippi.
No, you don't.
Let's jump into this other story, too. This last story about weddings. A 62-year-old man officiating a wedding in Nebraska accidentally injured his 12-year-old grandson when he fired a blank round from a revolver to get the guest's attention. Michael Gardner used a Paeta 1860 snub-nosed revolver and created the blank round using black powder and glue.
Oh, shit.
When he attempted to cock the hammer, it slipped and struck his grandson in the left shoulder, causing an injury. Deputies responded to the scene, and the child was taken to a hospital but is expected to recover. Gardner turned himself in and was charged with child abuse for negligently firing the firearm. Authorities emphasized the importance of firearm safety even with blanks. And it turns out we have the audio of what happened there at the wedding.
All right, let's hear it.
It's adorable. That's really sweet, right?
Yeah. Oh, my God!
You think the organist stopped playing?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Why did he keep shooting? Oh my God!
You think the organist just stopped playing?
I mean, I would have hit up under the organ. Like, I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
That's not real audio.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
I don't know, man. First off, shooting a blank round to get people's attention is wild.
Yeah.
At a wedding.
You're the officiant. They're already paying attention to you, sir.
Yeah, how much more attention did you want?
Apparently medical attention. Oh my God.
I can't believe it. This poor kid, though, I mean, I'm sure that traumatized him for life.
Could you imagine if my grandpa started shooting at our wedding?
Damn, Pop!
like he already took his time coming out of the bathroom. Can you imagine if he came out with a Glock?
Yeah, no, that's a crazy story. And, Nebraska, something interesting had to happen out of Nebraska.
I mean, I don't think we've ever talked about Nebraska on the show.
I think we did once because you said that you liked it there. You thought it was pretty.
Oh yeah, I do think it's pretty. You
think it's pretty? Every photo you've seen in Nebraska is like nice or something.
Yeah, it's a beautiful state. I actually think you would enjoy living there.
You think so?
Yeah, there's it's very down home country.
Low crime rate.
I don't know about that.
Oh.
Are we counting Grandpa shooting his grandson at the wedding as a crime?
You make some exceptions. Those are 1 in a million.
Okay.
It seems like it.
All right, Aaliyah, I see you.
I'm going to follow some Nebraska news and follow the data out there, the crime statistics.
Shout out the Cornhuskers. And Omaha steaks.
Who could be upset when you have corn and steak? I would be happy.
Yeah.
Happier than I am now.
I'm glad you're happy. Things weren't going so well for you in our one.